This wanderer discovered a strange stone in the desert. He wiped off the sand on its surface, and the texture his fingertips felt was extremely similar to that of gold. After a moment of hesitation, he called his companion over to take a look at it as well. The companion squatted down and examined it carefully. He thought it indeed resembled a gold ore. He casually took out a lighter to conduct a test, using that makeshift method of testing gold by roasting the stone. The flame burned for quite a while, but the stone neither cracked nor changed color. The two men looked at each other, and in their minds, they almost simultaneously came to the conclusion that this was likely real gold. They immediately started digging. As they dug, the hole got deeper, and the object seemed to get larger, as if the entire piece of gold had been buried deep into the earth's core. It couldn't be pried loose by manpower, so they tied a rope around it, hoping to tow it with a car. However, the rope broke first. By the time the sun was almost setting, the gold nugget still seemed bottomless. The companion had to remind the other to go gather firewood and start a fire to prevent wolves in the desert from approaching at night. After the fire was lit, the gold pit glistened in the firelight. Only then did the two truly realize that they might have stumbled upon a giant gold mine that could change their fates. But the most pressing problem at the moment was that they simply couldn't move it. Finally, they came up with a plan. One person would drive to the western town to find an excavator. Considering the round trip and the time needed to search, it would take at least 5 days. The other person would stay in the desert to guard the gold. Both of them wanted to stay. The companion thought he was more experienced in wilderness survival and didn't quite trust the other, who always liked to waste water to hold out alone, while the protagonist was determined to guard the gold himself. Unable to persuade him, the companion had to give in. Early the next morning, he stuffed as much food as he could leave with the protagonist and left the only satellite phone in the tent. In other words, he handed over the means of survival and communication to the other party, and then drove off alone to the town to find an excavator. After the sun rose, Carl first reburied the exposed gold, then set up a small tent, collected dry firewood, and started a fire to keep warm. He began to guard this huge gold nugget alone in the vast desert. What he didn't know was that in the next 5 days, what would truly test him was not only the high temperature, thirst, and hunger, but also whether the companion who had left would really come back on time.